It was a learning curve. I've never taught 4-year-olds before, but it's been wonderful and sad to see them go. We've created like this little family in our classroom. I care about them all as if they were my own, and I'm excited to see what the future holds for them.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to season 2 of our summer podcast series, Between Sundays. Thanks so much for joining us and being a part of this journey. The vision for this time together is that we want to engage in the texts of the Bible and see that, man, everyday knuckleheads like us can read the Bible and get really great truths from it.
Speak for yourself.
So my coworker and friend Nikki is going to co-host with me. We've got a great slate of guests planned for this summer series. We're in a message series this summer all about miracles. So each time we gather here, we'll be diving into different miracles and hearing from awesome people. Our guest today is our esteemed colleague and dear friend, Donna Budil. Hello, Donna.
Hello.
Thank you for saying yes once again to joining in the fun. Before we get to Donna, this is an opportunity, Nikki. You have re-entered life and ministry of Lord of Glory. Man, we missed you when you were gone.
I miss being here.
We really did.
Yeah.
Made me really appreciate having you on our team. But then when you came back, it was like so good to have you back.
Oh, thanks.
Yep.
So just some general observations on mom life so far. Because we see you in the lobby. You're doing a great job as a mom. Justin's a great dad. Raylan is just like embracing life at Lord of Glory.
I know.
But
She
give
loves
a handle from your perspective. Mom life.
Yeah. It's like we've prayed to be parents for a while, and we absolutely love it. Like, we are obsessed with our kid. And I get it when people are like, oh my gosh, she moved. It's the best thing ever. Because it really is.
Yeah.
We've wanted to pour into someone for a long time. And like, we love kids. And I think you guys see that in Justin too. And so we've really loved it. Like, it's hard. And I do think we uniquely have kind of an easier baby. I will acknowledge that. But also, the hard parts are really meaningful. Like, I love work that is meaningful even when it's hard.
Yes.
It's way better than doing nothing.
Yes.
So we love it. We love her. She loves your sermons. She pays attention now. She doesn't fall asleep anymore. Yeah, it's been really, really fun. It's really interesting. I feel like I understand God more by being a parent. Like, significantly more.
Wow. Talk about that a little bit.
I mean, there's so many things that could go on forever. But like, from the moment she was born, she knew who I was. Like, she uniquely knew my voice.
Yeah.
Just like how God says, my sheep know my voice.
Yeah.
And just like God, Jesus broke his body for his kids.
Yeah.
And like, I broke my body for my girl. but like, you just give everything to them. And you do it so gladly.
Yes.
And even like when you're tired and all those things, yeah, it's hard, but I would always do it. Like, there's no question. I'm like, of course, because you're the best.
Yeah. It's a relationship like no other.
Yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm. Anything surprising to you?
I guess I'm surprised how natural of a transition it was for us, because I was prepared to be really like feeling out of sorts, but it was not. We haven't really felt that way, which we're very grateful for. But it's also because I have a great partner too.
Yeah. Thanks be to God for that. There is like a word on the street about parenting, right?
Yeah.
Like, you don't get your life back, or, you know.
Right.
Like, you're like, whoa, what am I getting into? But you guys are out. You're like you're living life. You're a family of 3 now.
Yep. Justin took her out week 2, like to a restaurant by himself. And I was like, what? And he was at first draft, and there was like a clogging class above them. So like her first experience out was like, people stomping on the ceiling about it. She slept through the whole thing.
That's great. Like, welcome to life.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, congratulations. Our
Thanks.
church family loves seeing you guys in action, and to God be the glory for new life. Baptism was awesome.
Yeah, it was. She's a strong kid.
She is a strong kid.
I don't know if anyone noticed, but Pastor Brian gave her back very fast.
Yeah, I'm like, whoa. It was awesome. A real honor. Donna!
Someone who pours into kids.
Yeah.
Ain't no such thing as an easy baby, by the way.
Yeah, well
True.
said.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Just different types of challenges.
Yeah,
Fair.
just different types of challenges for sure. But yeah, it's fun to watch you and Justin love on her and to watch him carry her and and it's adorable. It's fun to watch like the whole journey that you guys went on, and now you get to raise this baby and That's awesome.
Thanks, Donna.
It's awesome. It's awesome to be here.
Yeah, Donna, talk to us about, you've just completed a ministry year at Gloryland. How would you describe what this year was like uniquely?
Uniquely for me, I was in the classroom 5 days as well as directing. And I loved it. I just loved it. I loved being back with the children. I loved putting lesson plans together and coming up with ideas that they really wanted to engage in. And my class really needed stuff to do. And so that really pushed me to try to find things that would benefit them, looking ahead to kindergarten so that they would leave Gloryland well equipped to the best of my ability, to the best of their ability to start off fresh next year.
Yeah. I remember when you first broached that idea to me about re-entering the classroom, and my first thought was, whoa. But your perspective was like, whoa, I can't wait. Which speaks to you as a teacher at heart. And it strikes me like there's a lot of fields, and yours, your education is one of them, where like if you get really good at something, then you become the leader and you lead others who do that thing, but you don't get to do that thing anymore, right? So now you got to redo that thing.
Yes, and I was seriously a first-year teacher. Like with the workload that comes along with it. It was a learning curve. I've never taught 4-year-olds before, but it's been wonderful and sad to see them go. We've created like this little family in our classroom. I care about them all as if they were my own, and I'm excited to see what the future holds for them.
That's awesome. Talk to us about, because we get the privilege of like line of sight into Gloryland every single day, right? We're here. So I have a sense for the culture. Folks who are listening, just they come to Lord of Glory or they're aware of our church, so they don't get to see the sense of what the culture is like. Like, what do people say who go to Gloryland if they're a parent or a grandparent? Like, what's the word on the street about Gloryland?
I think the word on the street really hasn't deviated since my children were here, like over or about 20 years ago. It's very family friendly. We become a big extension of a family. You know, for a lot of families that have children, they become kind of like unique in just their own little bubble, if you will. And now they're starting to branch out with other families, and that's one of the things that I love. I love when families come up to me and say, hey, can you put so-and-so on my pickup list? They're going to have a play date after school. You know, people that I knew were not engaged at the beginning of the year, and now they are, so big family friendly feel. And also I think parents are just enamored by the teacher interaction with the students. Just great banter between the two of them. And the things that they do, like the creativity. My teachers, oh my goodness, I'm inspired to be a better teacher because I work with really good teachers who come up with phenomenal ideas. I mean, like if you just look at sensory play, what they put in the sensory bin for kids to like touch and feel and play with, like that's just one small piece of a puzzle. But you want to make that great. My teachers do, and I'm so grateful for them, and I'm grateful for how they motivated me this year.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, you see the kids having fun here.
Yeah.
They're happy here.
They are.
And you're right about, you said this a while ago, and it really stuck with me. Like, these are some of the first friendships that parents will make with other parents. Oh. Right? In fact, like some of those were like, we just played cards the other day with John and Marcus Lashak, who Megan and Ruby, that's how we met them, right? So like we started 2s or 3s, and what is it, 14 years later, we're like, Saturday night, like playing cards and like that, because of Gloryland relationships.
Which is awesome, and nothing warms my heart more. I walk into the Jewel down the street and I run into people, ready or not. Can I take a selfie with you for my kid so that they can see that Miss Donna's still at Gloryland? It's a unique thing, and people will build on that. Like we get like streets of kids that went to Gloryland.
Yes.
We lived on Rose Hall Street in Round Lake Beach. Every kid went to Gloryland. Yeah. So it's just kind of fun to hear that and that sense of community. My kids always hated going to the farmer's market with me because I could really not walk about 100 feet without someone being like, hey, there's Miss Donna, which I loved. It annoyed my kids, but I love that. I love that community feel.
Well, we can get your kids to commiserate with my kids. Right? So that's awesome. Don, thanks so much for serving so faithfully. Frontline Beautiful Ministry. To God be the glory for Gloryland. God loves Gloryland.
He does. He does.
So awesome. So we get to engage in a text today.
Yeah.
And last year we brought Donna in for the parable of the workers in the vineyard.
Do you notice any similarities between that one and this one?
We're like John chapter 2, Jesus changes water to wine. we've got the perfect guest for it. John chapter 2, let's look at the text together. It reads like this. So if you have a Bible at home, go ahead and read it. Otherwise, I'm going to read it out loud. If you're going for a walk or doing dishes or whatever you're doing, let me read it, and then we're going to process it for just a few minutes. John chapter 2, starting at verse 1. On the third day, a wedding took place at Cana in Galilee. Jesus' mother was there, and Jesus and his disciples had also been invited to the wedding. When the wine was gone, Jesus' mother said to Jesus, "They have no more wine." "Dear woman, why do you involve me?" Jesus replied, "My time has not yet come." His mother said to the servants, "Do whatever he tells you." Nearby stood 6 stone water jars, the kind used by the Jews for ceremonial washing, each holding from 20 to 30 gallons. Jesus said to the servants, "Fill the jars with water." So they filled them to the brim. Then he told them, "Now draw some out and take it to the master of the banquet." They did so, and the master of the banquet tasted the water that had been turned into wine. He did not realize where it had come from, though the servants who had drawn the water knew. Then he called the bridegroom aside and said, "Everyone brings out the choice wine first, and then the frangia, the cheaper wine, after the guests have had too much to drink. But you have saved the best till now." This, the first of his miraculous signs, Jesus performed at Cana in Galilee. He thus revealed his glory, and his disciples put their faith in him. Nikki, what jumps out to you here?
Okay, I got a few things that jump out, but the first is the conversation between Jesus and his mom. I can just see the looks that they're exchanging. Justin tells me this all the time. He's like, "Just tell me what you want." Right. But instead she says, what does she say? "Oh, they have no more wine."
Yeah.
And he's like, "What do you want? I know what you want me to do about this.
Say it.
Just say it."
Right.
Yeah.
It's like they had a relationship. Jesus had a relationship with his mom, right? Where it's like
a very mom relationship too.
I know what you want me to do, right?
Yeah. Yeah, and he, of course, is Jesus, so he's not going to disrespect his parents. Like, he respectfully says something back. But I always have to, check the tone on that, because I'm like, if I said that, the way I would say that is very different than probably how Jesus said that.
Well said, yep.
Yes. But, yeah, I think that's a really cute relationship.
It is, but I also look and think that it's almost her faithfulness. She had faith that he could do something about it.
Right.
But I also think he was also kind of drawing a line on their relationship. I'm going to do something different and not necessarily what you want. I looked at that pretty closely, that relationship between him and his mom. I very much value my role as a mom, and I've always loved looking at the Jesus-Mary relationship up to the cross. And I just found that banter, to your point, what was the tone? We hear a tone. We can't,
based on our own experiences too.
Correct. So I'm glad that you said something about Mary, because I really thought about that.
That would be a great Bible study to track the exchanges between Jesus and his mom.
Yeah.
We understand by now probably Jesus' father has died. The only appearance we get of Jesus' father is in Luke chapter 2. Where he's left behind in Jerusalem as a 12-year-old boy. Now Jesus has begun his earthly ministries in his 30s, and the thought is that Jesus' father has passed away, so it's just his mom. But you're right. So as parents, we all know, we think our kids are perfect, ha ha ha, but we know they're not.
Right.
We see their flaws. Mary, however, thought her son was perfect, and she kind of knew he was. Right? I saw a meme the other day that said, Mary must have found out that Jesus was perfect because he was a carpenter by trade and never had to go to Home Depot to get more parts.
That's awesome.
Cute.
Right? So she knew he was perfect, right? So she saw the problem and said, Jesus, hey, I know you have the capacity to do something about this, and you guys are right to respond. That he was like, be cautious here, Mom, because you may want me to do things that I'm not gonna do, or you may think that my perfection is gonna mean certain things for you, but it's gonna mean some really hard things. It's gonna mean me going to the cross, and you're not gonna like that.
Yeah.
But then to your point, I think he recognizes the need exists and he says, all right, I will meet this need.
Yeah.
Donna, what do you make of the fact, like, because you've been to parties, you've been to weddings, you've had good wine. Like, talk about this from like a hospitality perspective.
Well, I think weddings at that time were not a 5-hour celebration. I think there were events that happened for an extended period of time. And if you're missing the wine, you're missing one of the better parts. Like, I don't know, what did they drink? They weren't drinking Dr. Pepper. They weren't drinking coffee. There were no Starbucks.
Yeah.
So it was water, fingers crossed that it was not dirty water, but the wine that would be fermented in it would be the safest thing to drink. I should really have grown up in Bible times. But anyway, I digress.
For another time. Yeah.
Right. So I think that wine was really important. And of course, they bring out the best wine first.
Yeah.
But this wasn't the first wine.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just so enthralled by the story.
Right.
Like, it ends up being the best wine, but it came out last.
Yeah.
It came out at the end where they would serve the worst wine.
Right.
From a hospitality standpoint, you need to have the wine at the wedding. Like, that was but they needed also to have like liquid for people to drink. And this was probably one of the safest liquids for them to drink. So to not have anything to drink, like, the problem was pretty big.
Yeah, really good point too, because like, I think now if someone ran out of wine at a wedding, right, that would mean, like, to your point, 5-hour affair, and you probably had some wine. So now it's like 10:30 at night, you quote unquote ran out of wine, and I've been to some weddings where, like, maybe that was actually a good idea. Like, it kind of puts an end to the shenanigans, right? But you're right. Like, and I've heard people talk about this, a major faux pas. To your point, like, people have really nothing to drink, and this was not a tight 5-hour event. People had traveled; they were probably together for days. So this would have meant, like, Jesus really came to the rescue of a family that really needed it. Nikki, anything else about you want to call out to our people today?
Yeah. Jesus is kind of like Taylor Swift here.
Okay, tell me more.
Okay, so if you know Taylor Swift and her fans, they're
Passionate.
very passionate, and Taylor Swift is really known to, like, drop little Easter eggs all over her stuff. So, like, people study it and they're like, why did she put this red bird here? Oh, it's alluding to blah blah blah. It's like, it's insane.
Yeah,
I mean,
so
it's
Easter
really
eggs, kind of like hints of something further, right? Yeah.
Hints of something further for you to discover and think about and like roll over in your mind. And Jesus does this in his first miracle all over the place.
Wow.
I've kind of, like, he does things intentionally, and whenever they write, we see them write about Jesus' miracles, they're going to include things for reasons. And so there's things in here that I'm like, oh, what does the water remind you?
So tell us the Easter eggs. Tell us the Easter eggs.
But you have to, like, mull them over in your brain too.
Right.
So there's some that I'm like, I recognize, and some I'm like, I have questions about. But I mean, my first one is, like, we see him use jars of water, like ceremonial washing. Like, what's a ceremonial washing that we know? Like, we know the washing of baptism. And this was, like, their kind of baptism to make you clean before Jesus made baptism.
Wow, okay.
So, like, that's pretty cool that he's using that. And then we've got turning into wine. Like, where do we see wine?
Right.
In Holy Communion.
Right.
So it's just, like, there's things in there that he's trying to help us think about.
Yes.
And like John's pointing out, he's like, hey, he knows what he's doing here.
Yes.
It's more than, I mean, it is, he wants to help people in this party, but he also is alluding to, like, he is making the party to keep going. Like, how does he keep our party going?
Yeah.
Through baptism and his sacrifice on the cross.
Boom,
like, to keep going.
love it.
Yeah, it's like little Easter egg. I don't know why 6. I wonder why it was 6, but.
Oh, 6 jars.
Yeah, 6 jars. That's, like, a question I've had, because numbers are pretty significant.
Well, here's what I know
don't
for
know.
sure. 6 20 to 30 gallon.
It's a lot.
That's a lot of wine. That's a great party. But Nikki, what I love what you said was, this is more than just awesome hospitality for one awesome family.
Yeah.
It was, he's alluding to something much bigger. Baptism, Lord's Supper is all over this first miracle.
Yeah, and I think they don't get that right now, but he's like Taylor Swift. He's like, oh, you're going to get it later.
Yeah.
Like, it's going to be really cool when you figure it out.
Yeah, another thing I had heard is almost all of the places that we know of in the New Testament can be found on a map, but we're not quite sure where Cana is. Such a small town. Like, there's speculation. Could have been here. Could have been here. But that strikes me that, like, man, he picked his first miracle in, like,
Yeah.
I don't know, pick some small Illinois town like Effingham or something, like off the radar, so much so that like not even going to be known. He sure could have launched first miracle in Jerusalem and Nazareth, but he's like, this is going to bless one family. This is going to bless a bridegroom and a bride and their special day. It's going to be in abundance. It's going to have Lord's Supper imagery. Don, anything else jump out to you here you want to make sure you call out?
I just think about the significance of a wedding. Like it's huge. Like for many people, it's like their one huge celebration in their life. And I think this reminds me of how in everyone's one celebration of their life, something may go wrong. And Jesus reminds us, I'm always going to be there. I will be there. And I'm not going to just find another bottle somewhere. I'm going to get 6 30-gallon containers, and I'm going to do it right because I understand your event. Yeah. And this was an event that he understood. Like he understood, be it his mom told him, let's get this party started, or however she phrased it, officially. He knows how to step in and fix those events and be with you during those events. That's great. And I'll let that kind of be the exclamation point on this text. What you're going to see, friends, as we dive into this series is John's language at the end. He says, this is the first of his miraculous signs Jesus performed at Cana in Galilee. Now, a sign is something that points to something. Like you don't go to Yosemite National Park to see the Yosemite sign. You go to Yosemite to see Yosemite, right? The sign is just the thing that points to something greater. This is an awesome miracle, but it's pointing to something about who Jesus was. And your language, Donna, which is like, this shows us who God is, that he cares, that he's in our situation, that he enters into whatever's going on. He's for us, cares about stuff that we care about. Nikki, any last word?
Yeah, I guess I would love to hear what people think too. Just like mulling over these miracles. And if there are little Easter eggs that you catch because you have a unique lens into scripture as well, like come tell us.
Beautiful. Yeah. Let's let the conversation continue. Yeah. Wouldn't that be great? Absolutely. So we're going to have these, of course, Sunday mornings we'll be diving into these. Then these between Sundays, the vision would be that you get a chance to dive into the text again, but stop us in the lobby or whatever. Like, hey, I love it. Here's what I saw.
Make it like the farmer's market for Donna.
That's right. Hey, Donna.
Well, we love it, though.
That's great. Well, this is the first edition of Between Sundays. Thanks so much for joining us, everybody. And like Nikki said, let's keep the conversation going. This is Between Sundays. This is dialogues we want to have together. It was great to have our guest, Donna.
It was great to be here. And we probably should end this with the word cheers, right?
Cheers, right? Yeah. Jesus made it so, right?
Absolutely.
Well, cheers, everybody. Have a great day.